This podcast is a part of the Royal We Network.
Spit on me.
Okay, so, all right, well, okay. I think, okay. I'm trying to think of, I have so much to fucking talk about. I am just excited. Let's go ahead and introduce Luke.
Yeah.
Hey, longtime guests of the show, best guest, Australian boy, Luke.
G'day, boys. First of all, I'm honoured to have received Best Guest on the Royal We. I don't know what I did to deserve this. I'm incredibly proud. Thank you so much.
We tell everybody that.
Yeah, we tell it.
Fuck.
Well, no, we just classify everyone else as a host. Everyone's a guest host. You're just guest.
Yeah, so I'm still a level below everyone else, but I'm the best one, so that's all right.
I am just teeming with grease, and I want to get right to it. So welcome to another episode of the Royal We. I'm Sam.
I'm Nate.
We're joined today with our Australian buddy, Luke, best guest. And if you haven't heard the show before, what we normally do is we take headlines and we just read them. We do not read the articles because, facts just get in the way. If you guys want to send us headlines, and you should, you guys can do that at Royal WeCast on Twitter or royalwecast@gmail.com. You can also do it now in our brand new Discord. You should see links to that on our Twitter and our Facebook. And if you need a link to it, you can talk to us. You can even ask Luke.
Yeah.
Just ask me. I'll come up to me on the street. You'll see me. I'll give you a piece of paper with the Discord written on it.
They don't make promises you can't keep, man. You better keep one in your pocket now.
Fuck. All right. I'll start writing these down on stacks of business cards.
He'll be murdered in some strange way, and that's all they'll find in his pocket. What is this?
I think we should start this because I don't know if Luke's going to hang out with us the whole time, but Nate and I plan to do a pretty big power session doing Grease right now.
Yeah.
I want to kick this whole thing off with a Henry update.
Ooh-wee.
Longtime listeners of the show remember our good friend Henry, better known as Hoppen Henry.
What happened, Henry?
Yeah.
What happened is a staple term in my household still.
No way.
I don't think anyone that uses it in the household knows where it comes from or knows even who Henry is.
Yeah.
But what happened is still hanging on 2 years later since our last foray into this, and somehow it's maintained.
I love that.
Yeah, I say it all the time and use it, and people are probably, why did he say it that way? But people don't even know the story.
I say.
Like something.
But to you, it just seems normal.
Yeah.
Like
Wahapple?
I talk to everyone way more often than what happened.
Yeah.
I talk to everyone usually at least once a week. So for those of you guys who don't know the story of our lineage of our friend Henry, this Cuban guy we went to college with, just sort of a character, one of the many characters that are in our lives. We were in design classes with him. To give you just a quick rundown, let me see, how can I sum up Henry in just a quick rundown? He was a very muscular, bald Cuban man who
drove a shiny blue Corvette.
Yep.
And lived in Miami.
Owned a gym, and I believe an air conditioning company.
Something. There was a lot going on.
And is just a strange guy, just a real strange guy who talked with a thick Cuban accent, and he had a lot of important opinions about the roles of women in the household.
Yep. Wonder how that's going.
And yeah, but anyway, to give you guys an update of Henry, first of all, I don't think we even talked about, because this happened in the last 2 years. He tried to get Nate to find him a job here in Taiwan.
Yep.
He sent you a message saying that if you found him a job,
He said, he goes, if you find me a job, I promise you, I can be there within 1 week. I'm like, okay, like I don't.
Yeah, he made a big pause, like he was going to promise something spectacular. Like, I'll help you out. But he just said, I will come and do that job.
if you get me a job, I will show up for the job.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
I guarantee it.
Like, okay, bud, cool. But then, so now this is where it gets weird. Last I checked in with him, he was running buying Bitcoin with gold running.
Yeah.
Or buying gold with Bitcoin. I believe it went that way. Buying gold with Bitcoin.
Yeah, you could invest in gold with Bitcoin. That was the latest. That's not the latest. There's one since then.
What? There's an update?
You can buy one untraceable currency with another untraceable currency.
Right. Like if I have gold, I'm just going to keep gold, and same if I have Bitcoin. Like,
and also, who's going to go through him? Who's going to invest anything through him?
through anybody that you don't know.
Well, but there's like firms and stuff.
Yeah.
You're not just going to trust some guy who's like, what happened?
Yeah.
I don't know what happened with your money. What happened?
But I think that was his thing, is he was setting up a firm. He's like, this is now what I do. And he had a website and everything. And then that dissolved.
Oh, he's not doing that anymore.
I don't think so. I mean, at least that's not what he was promoting. And then the latest thing is he's opened a salon in Miami.
What? He doesn't have hair.
Yeah, I know he doesn't have hair. He's a bald man, and he opened a salon. I don't understand, but he did it. And he's once again, it's got a website and a Facebook, and he's promoting it. And he was like, "Hey, man, like my salon page."
You know what? Fuck us, really, because like the man clearly is trying.
He's doing something. At least he's doing something. I'm not knocking that at all, guys. He's got
Sure.
It's from the day we've met him. He's had his fingers in every finger in every pot he can get him in.
He's just wiggling his fingers, trying to work him into every pot he finds.
Yeah, and apparently he's a ninja.
Wait, hang on. That's the one that I'm gonna take umbrage with.
How do you mean he's a ninja? Like that's on his business card as ninja?
Well, no. Remember, he put out a Facebook post the other day where he showed his ninja training manual, and it said "always be training."
Oh, that's right.
And it was like the secret arts and practices of the ninja.
Okay, yeah.
And I was like, wait, is he training to be a ninja now, or maybe he's always been a ninja because he said always be
Or
trained?
is he training other people to be ninjas?
To sneak and steal Bitcoin gold and store it in the air conditioning ducts of his salon. It's all making sense now.
God, man.
But this is the crazy thing, like hearing, you haven't even really given the update yet, I assume. Or was that the update?
That he's a ninja now? That he works at a salon? I guess those are the updates.
Those are updates and maybe not the update. But that's the thing, like I had never assumed that Henry was someone who was still in anyone's life.
What?
Like from the stories about Henry, I'd gotten the impression that Henry was like one of these fly-through characters that like sort of is there and then he's not, and everyone goes for the rest of their lives thinking about them.
Surprisingly, I agree with you. Surprisingly, he keeps talking to Nate.
Yeah, I was gonna say, all that you just said, Luke. Me too. But he keeps showing up.
He keeps like, that's the thing. You don't talk to someone who's like a Cuban air conditioner man that like, you don't have these stories about people that you still know somehow. I feel like anyone that I know still, I don't have any stories or anything interesting about. They're those people that like, they're there and then they're gone.
Yeah.
But this guy's hanging on.
Yeah.
I don't know why he particularly found, I mean, I guess because you had some sort of friendship in college.
Yeah, like he was a nice dude and I hung out with him. He would always want to go to the Golden Corral, and I always wanted to go to the Golden Corral. It's ridiculous, like country buffet restaurant, and no one else wanted to go. So I would have to squeeze into his tiny Corvette, which he got a huge kick out of, and then we would go to the Golden Corral and just eat.
I can't imagine that.
It was funny. And he would talk about, because I remember we asked him, like, what do you eat to get so big? Because he was in shape, man. Like, he was like,
yeah, he was really, really big.
Yeah, like a seriously, like borderline bodybuilder big. Like, he was like in shape. For like, what's your diet, man? Like, what do you do to like gain this muscle?
I don't know, like sandwiches.
Just some sandwiches. I ate sandwiches. I'm like, just sandwiches.
How many sandwiches you eating, man?
I don't know, four, yeah. Yeah.
6 or 7 sandwiches. I don't know.
What's in these sandwiches?
Horse meat.
But that was the thing about him, man. He was weirdly cagey about things like what you eat. I don't know.
That's what made him interesting. Is he was super personable and like really like, but then all of a sudden you would ask him a normal everyday question, he'd be real dodgy about it. And you're like, why is that? What's happening?
Just what do you?
But that's the people who are interesting as well, as the ones that keep those secrets. You know, like you always want to know about the quiet guy in the corner, but like, and most of the time it's probably they don't have a lot going on, but there's something alluring about that. You know,
I agree.
Yeah.
That's been a Henry update for all of those of you, waiting with bated breath of probably like 3 of you who even know who the fuck we're talking about. Let's get into the headlines.
Yay.
Okay.
There was so much grace that you promised me in the lead up to this episode.
I have one that
I'm looking forward to it.
I just have to get rid of it because it's just a screenshot I took. So I couldn't put it in the right folder. It's not on my document, so I just got to say it.
Okay.
Spiral staircases were installed in fire stations in the 1800s to stop the horses that pulled the engines going up the stairs when they smelled food cooking.
What?
Why didn't they just lock the door or like a million different ways to stop the horses from getting in the kitchen?
Get out of here, Ed.
I mean, the problem here, I'm assuming, is that the horses could get up the stairs, but then they couldn't come back down the fireman pole because they don't have thumbs.
Oh my God.
The thing that there's so much that's jumping out at me here. This is what makes the spicy grace. What food is it that a horse eats that's even cooked?
Yeah.
Why does anything cooked smell good to a horse?
That's a good point.
Yeah, I had the exact same thought. I was like, well, what are they cooking that's a horse is like, fuck yeah. That smells just like Mama Horse used to make.
Yeah, would a horse come to cooking food? I don't think they would.
I don't think a horse I'm going to put this right out there. What is something that a horse has ever had in the history of horses that's been cooked? A salt lick? Is that cooked?
That's not cooked.
Oats?
No, but they give them raw oats.
It's just raw.
Yeah, that's what, maybe it wasn't the food. Maybe they're coming up for the camaraderie.
Well, there's a bunch of horses stuck up there.
Well, is it a horse that can't go back down steps or a cow? There's some animal that can walk up steps but can't come down them.
I always heard a cow because they would do like the school pranks where they would put a cow up the stairs.
What a prank.
And then they had to get a crane to get it out.
Well, yeah, what a prank.
This poor animal.
Are pranks in 2020, are pranks still cool? Like, can we still pull pranks?
Yeah, I see there's a lot of YouTube channels of people pulling some good pranks. They were pulling some good ones. There was a great channel in Beirut until Beirut blew up. Which isn't funny.
No, sure, but the way you put it was funny.
That wasn't a prank.
Right.
That was not one of their pranks.
Yeah.
It's just a prank, bro.
There was you were watching a Beirut based prank channel. What is?
Dude, I you know me. I don't. It's a really good one.
What were they doing? What kind of pranks were they pulling?
They would just do old cheeky stuff where they would like have a big stack of boxes and they would like pretend to be carrying them down. Well, they wouldn't pretend to carry them. They were actually carrying them down the street. But then they're all mimes. They're just all mimes. But then they would like trip and it would look like this big stack of boxes was falling on people, but they'd rigged it up to where
I've seen that.
Yeah. It's called something in Beirut, Live in Beirut or something of Beirut. And they've got some actually pretty clever, like practical pranks that they pull on people. They're pretty entertaining.
That was like a category of TV show at one stage. I remember was like those specific prank shows was like a whole.
Oh yeah,
there could have been a channel of them, like on TV. I guess they're all
what
just
was
on
that
YouTube
British one
now.
Trigger Happy TV.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah, there was.
It was the best.
I love that. My favorite one they ever did was they buried a metal sign at the beach so metal detectors would find it, and when they dug it up, it just said "twat." It's so funny. I'm just like, because they're like, oh fuck, I found something, and then they just put it up, and it's like, what the fuck?
There's so many that's so much complexity to that because you need to have someone coming to the beach with a metal detector in the first place and then a camera sitting there waiting on that one spot
for who knows how long.
It says twat.
Yeah.
That's so good.
All right, let's actually get into these headlines. Because God damn it. Okay, what? Oh, I don't even know what drawer to open, my boys. God, I don't know, guys. What kind of flavor grease? I mean, do you guys have a preference to what kind of grease you want to?
Do you have? You've got that many in the drawers?
Yeah.
It's been a couple of years, so forgive me, but. Is there any system for choosing a drawer, or are the drawers chosen at a whim?
Oh, we don't have a system.
We don't have a system.
Let's make a convoluted system, just like everything we do.
Because there's a convoluted system for everything else. That's exactly right.
Speaking of convoluted systems, we mentioned it in the first episode.
Okay.
Are there sound effects between the things anymore? Because the past two episds, I've thought that, but it never comes up until the very end. And you're like, yeah, just put this sound in. And by that point, I've spent like an hour long editing it. And I was like, nah, I'm not going back and listening to it again and putting sounds in. So I just edit out the part where you're like, yeah, put in the sound of, Wilford Brimley saying something or what, and I just delete it like it's never. But I'm like, if we're doing it, I can do it.
I hear you.
But I just want to know up front.
I would say no. I don't think we need it.
It didn't sound like we needed it.
No, I don't think.
People used to send them in, right?
Yeah, that was the thing. If people start sending them to us, we'll put them in there. But
Yeah.
otherwise,
I think they need to be, organically free range, these sound effects.
yeah, I agree. So if you guys want to send them to us, then we'll put them in there.
You're just like a little 2-3 second. Okay, I know where we're going to start. We're going to open up the medicine drawer. We could come up with a convoluted system on someone else's dime.
Yeah.
Okay.
Send us in convoluted systems. That's a good, we'll crowdsource that too.
Yeah, there you go. So
Yeah.
if you have a system for how we can choose these drawers, well, to give you a list, here's the drawers. We got medicine, we got spook grease /monsters /unexplained, which is ripe for October. We got foreign lands. We got sex goo. Then we got bullshit and what? Then we've got not news /fast food, science and technology, animals, crime, the law, and products and services.
Okay.
Okay, but I'm going to open up.
These are all good choices.
Yeah.
As far as
I'm going to open up
concerned.
medicine. Medicine's always a good place to start.
Yeah. Because there's usually some ridiculous science involved,
Man
which I like.
accidentally swallows toothbrush while brushing his teeth.
Jesus Christ.
Doctors remove it from his stomach. What was that man doing?
That doesn't seem like an easy thing to do. How do you nonchalantly just accidentally swallow a whole toothbrush?
And I feel like a toothbrush is mostly handle. Like how
Yeah, you're not accent or whoops.
It's 80% handle.
what?
Oh,
But my point is like it's a long,
yeah.
mostly handle thing. So like how quickly did he slurp it down?
Yeah, exactly. I don't get that's like I mean you might as well
That's so many chances.
that means there's the possibility he could swallow every eating utensil just willy-nilly, just happened to oh shit, I swallowed a spoon.
If anything, I feel like a spoon would almost be easier to swallow
It's smooth.
than a toothbrush. How has that never come up for him before? How maybe when they got in there to get the toothbrush, they're just like, oh shit, there's all sorts of stuff in here.
This guy's full of cutlery.
Is this a situation where like when you find stuff in your butt, you're like, oh shit, I was changing a light bulb and I fell on.
Wait.
Did this guy swallow a toothbrush?
Wait. What? You said, is this like a situation when you find stuff in your butt?
You know what I'm talking about? You go to the doctor, you're like, oh man, I was changing the light bulb and I fell on the table. Like they come up with a story of why they have a.
Oh, they do. Yeah, if you were wording it like this happens to you and me and like everybody, you're like,
Like it's an everyday thing.
yeah, you were like, you know, when you find something in your butt at the doctor.
Did I?
Yeah, like that old chestnut.
I think Sam's just shown all his cards.
You know when you just find light bulb, you go to the doctor and then like, hey, you got a light bulb in your butt, and you're like, well, I'll be damned.
Well, get that out of there.
No, that's where that went. Well, hang on. That's
I thought I had a bright idea, but turns out it was shit. Oh, womp womp.
Is it possible that the toothbrush went in that way? And he's just like, oh yeah, I was brushing my teeth, I swallowed it.
Fuck.
He put it in his butt and it went
Yeah.
up. I don't know how anatomy works, obviously.
He would have
but-
had to have somehow like Zen monk his body to like reverse the flow of his intestinal system. To like,
He's like doing the worm, like trying to get it
Oh
to
my
go
God.
up. Like,
No, it's more likely this lunatic just ate a toothbrush. It was like, I regret it.
it's David Blaine's next stunt. I would eat a toothbrush with my butt and then spit it out my mouth.
Oh my God.
you can like bring it up. You can decide on like which way he spits it out, like the goldfish trick.
I like that goldfish trick. I love that because that kind of magic is so funny to me where there is no trick.
Yeah.
You're just
Yeah,
swallowing
the trick
a
is that he just swallowed a goldfish. Like,
Yeah. Well, the thing where he puts the ice pick through his arm, he's literally just putting an ice pick through his arm.
Is he really?
Yeah, he did it on Joe Rogan a while back, and it's the first time we've actually seen him bleed. Like, he bled from it, and he was like, oh, shit.
Because I saw him do that to Ricky Gervais, and Ricky Gervais loses his mind.
Yeah, he's like, you're just doing it.
Like, this isn't magic.
because that's like his deal is that he does it for like celebrities, right?
He had a run for that, yeah.
Not all. He did that for one of his. Yeah, he did it for a minute. But his latest thing was he just tied himself to a bunch of balloons and floated up into the.
This leads me right into another headline. This is in the Spook Grease drawer. And I love headlines that end with question marks. This is
They all do when we talk about them.
this is man dies by magic?
Question mark?
Man dies by magic?
Magic?
Because the thing is, the panic that could have induced if it wasn't a question mark, like people opening the newspaper and being the headline being "Man dies by magic," the whole world's going to like setting on fire from that.
What's this now?
I knew it.
Oh, okay. Magic's real. Cool. I've got to just digest that.
2020, apparently magic. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Didn't surprise anybody.
I mean, the big thing about the reason I chose it is it's gonna that in a normal episode, I think that would be a real contender for the card we could play at the end where we click one of these articles. But I got a lot of good stuff, boys.
All right.
That's a good teaser for what the rest of the stuff you've got coming up. Because I'd play the card on that. I want to know what the magic is.
Yeah, man dies by magic.
It's gotta be like, because that's again the way people write fucking headlines. It's gotta be he did a magic act, like he was trying to be David Blaine. He buried himself in ice and then died, and they were like, man, it's magic.
Oh, or he was doing a trick or something that.
We can only hope, because I can't deal with much more revelation in my life right now.
Here's another one in the medicine drawer, another good one. Man shoots his male doctor after he accidentally induces orgasm during a prostate exam.
God, that's like the alternate ending of American Beauty.
It is kind of, yes.
It kind of.
The man was Kevin Spacey as well. So that's what he's up to now.
How dare you? How dare you make me orgasm?
And man, and to be that upset by it that you murder another person. That literally is the end of American Beauty.
And it made him feel good, I'm sure. How do you go from that to shooting? To guns a-blazing?
That's just how homophobic you are, like how deeply repressed your own latent homosexuality is, which is almost impressive. Like,
I mean, not that deep, about a finger's depth.
about two knuckles. Just
And did he have, do you think the gun was like in his pants at his ankles and he had like, do you think he turned around and shot the doctor? Or do you think, and which is I think funnier, he left the office, got his gun and came back.
Well, I mean, in my mind, the gun was like, he shot the doctor in between his legs, like, pow, straight away.
Like immediately? Like he said, what I think's funnier about this murder.
Yeah.
You know what I think's funny about this murder? Is that if he left and came back and did the murder.
Well, because, okay, yeah, you're right.
No. You're right too. That would be way funnier because that means he would have left and been like, gee, yeah, I can't live with myself. Yeah, that's exactly that guy at the end of, because what's funny, man, I remember when we watched that movie, like the first time you saw it, you said, you made some comment of like, you were like, that's a great movie. You're like, it seems a little unrealistic that guy would have shot him over that at the end. And here's a prime example of like, no.
There you go, yeah. No, it isn't. People are like that.
Yeah, I remember seeing, I was like, no, man, there's guys out there who would absolutely be like, they just wouldn't know how to deal with something like that and would just take it out on whoever made them have those feelings.
What's ridiculous, though, is in that movie, though, he sort of feels like Kevin Spacey's... I mean, he's big. Okay, fucking spoiler, I guess. The guy makes him...
The movie's 20 years old.
He kisses himself. He kisses Kevin Spacey, and Kevin Spacey's like, you got the wrong idea. And he's like, well, you rejected me. And then it's like, oh, you're gay. I'm making it convoluted. Basically, unwanted sexual advances happen, and then he kills Kevin Spacey.
Right.
And that seems to make more sense to me than a doctor. Like, you're going in there for a clinical thing, and your body has a response.
But maybe that guy didn't know what was up. Like maybe he didn't know that could happen. You know, if you're that repressed, you're not going to. You may have no idea that stimulating your prostate could make you come.
And how would
you know what I mean?
He thought the doctor was pulling some magic on him.
Right. He thought like, what did he do to make me do that? Like he
made me gay.
This doctor made me gay.
Yeah.
Man dies by magic. 2 in 1. There we go. Knock them both over.
I can't imagine being upset with someone who makes me orgasm.
That's a gift that they've given you.
I've always been eternally grateful. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Like, oh, thank you so much for that.
Yeah, you might be initially confused by it.
Yeah, you know. Wait, no, I have never been confused by it. What do you mean?
No, I haven't either. But I'm saying if something made you have an orgasm that you never.
Oh, I didn't know it was going to happen. That's what. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't come with you. I was like, what are you talking about? So I found a pattern has emerged in the grease, Nathan.
Okay.
Going through my curations, and so we were just talking about a guy who shot his doctor after having an orgasm induced. Let's open up the sex goo. A clear drawer to go from.
That's
there.
a direct segue through to sex goo.
Directly through the sex goo.
Sex goo. Two men with machetes break into the wrong home to execute a paid-for sexual fantasy roleplay.
Whoa.
God damn it! If there's ever a time to get that address right.
Yeah.
God damn, man.
I like the idea that there was someone that's almost like next level for the fetish. Is like that they're sitting at home waiting to have their house broken into all night, and it never happens.
No, right? Yeah, man, yeah.
And that's like the ultimate like edging for them.
Worth every fucking dollar, and then literally right next door. It's fucking
There's like
panic room level shit going on, and those guys must be so confused. Like, you paid for this? Why are you really fighting us?
That's the thing. Like, this is why you hire professionals, because nobody got a good outcome from that.
Now I'm going to segue a little bit away. I have a little bit of a tangent. I've thought about this multiple times in my life. Are there people you can go to give haircuts to your dick?
yeah, it's just called a salon.
You go to any salon, they'll know that. What do you mean?
I mean, you have to ask them if they're cool with it, but how do you think that's where like people get Brazilian waxes and all that type of stuff done?
But they'll like remove the hair. But I don't want. It's not something I necessarily want.
You want it like something styled down there, like
styled or trimmed or like
I'm sure the same places.
Other people who do
But that's the thing. I imagine that if you go to a salon that's gonna remove the hair down there, they're not trimming it. Like, they're not gonna use scissors. They're just gonna wax it, right? So, are you specifically after someone who will manicure the hair?
Like give you like a design, like a tribal design in your pubes or something.
tribal design. Oh my god!
Can you imagine?
The intricacies required to make something like that happen.
But I'm sure there are because I know that who work in places and they do Brazilian waxes, and they've talked about before having to basically get out trimmers and like trim it all away. Like, they've let it go completely to where it's like, all right, we gotta buzz cut it and then we can wax it. So I'm sure the same thing would be like, okay, buzz cut it and then just like give me a cool design down there.
I don't so much want a design. It's okay. Again, it's not something that I want. I keep saying it's not what I want. I keep saying it's not really what I want. I'm not in the market.
I'm asking for a friend.
But yeah, exactly. I've thought about it multiple times in my life, but I don't want it. You want a large African American woman wearing white gloves to do it.
God damn, why does that constantly come up on this podcast?
Because you once said that you had a fetish about it, and I never forget a thing.
Did I say that? I put that came out. That was I told you that in confidence.
No, you told that on the when you were feeling all fucking free willy on the podcast one day and was like, fuck it, I'll just tell the world.
I told a lot of weird shit in this podcast. I fucked a teddy bear one time.
That's right. I remember that. 2 years apparently isn't enough for me to forget these things.
Memories.
So these guys break into the wrong house. They were paid to break into a house.
Meanwhile,
with machetes for a paid sexual fantasy roleplay. Wild, man.
Yeah.
You gotta it's, not sexy, but you've got to be like, this is your house. This was house right here. Let's do a dry run where we meet at your house.
You at least show them like the Google Street View fucking picture of your house, like at the very least.
The white ones with the 2 columns, not this one or this one.
As these people never ordered food, and it's not easy.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Uber Eats shows up like 3/4 of the time. Like,
now the interesting thing there is that so you're paying someone to break into your house, but obviously in this scenario you're paying them to physically break into the house. You're not leaving the door unlocked or the window open or anything like that, unless the next door neighbors just happen to have the same window open, and the intricacies of this are mind-boggling.
Mm-hmm. The paperwork, I think that you should go in that, because like this is where you would mess up, is just the one way.
There's many.
Yeah, if this has to be an amateur thing, that they just found some people on Craigslist.
Sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Because
the pros are not messing it up in this way.
Yeah, because I was thinking a pro would be like, okay, if they would go through the details, they'd have you sign all these papers to be like, you're giving us legal permission to break your front door down to come in and threaten you with machetes. So that you,
Fuck you, silly.
Because can you imagine explaining this to all the wrong parties involved once this went bad? You're having to explain this to the homeowners.
God, yeah.
The police.
Your podcast audience?
I told you that in confidence.
What I imagine though is if you pay for this, for it to truly be exciting, they have to wait long enough that it's not on your mind. Like if you pay for it and you say, I'm going to come next week, that's not exciting. But if you pay for it and then 5 months later.
Yeah, when you've almost forgotten about it.
Right? Yeah.
Those guys just rip me off. They're never coming to fuck me.
What's funny about that too is like, there's never really God, there's so many days where you wouldn't want it. I mean, I don't know. It's not my kink, but you had a bad day at where you're managing a Dairy Queen. You had a bad day. Your subordinates were fucking listening. And then you come home.
Managing a Dairy Queen.
And that's when they're.
And the concerning thing about that is that in the interim, you could actually get your house broken into and be like, oh no, I'm being broken into.
Can you imagine?
I hope they don't come in this room. Like you can't. There's no.
Yeah.
You're so secure in the naivety.
Boys, we just wrote an episode of something where they think that like real robbers come and they're like, you can go so many ways with
What's
that.
so funny too is that the real robbers would leave and you'd be disappointed. Like, they just stole my shit. They didn't fuck me. What the hell?
Was there a miscommunication? Or I like the fact that if it was on the same night, they're sitting there waiting and they're like on the couch waiting and time goes past and in the window behind them, like you see the two guys going to the wrong house and like all this stuff. And the whole time they're sitting there and then finally they're asleep in like the easy chair. And then there's, but behind them at the neighbors, there's like police lights and everything in the background, like where all this shit went down next door. And they're just disappointed that
fuck.
Right.
Guess I'm going to have to go get my prostate exam to get my rocks off this week.
They're asleep in the easy chair with like freshly trimmed at the salon.
yeah, they've got a receipt from
Wearing their white gloves.
I got the woman with the white gloves over here for nothing.
God damn it.
At least she turned up at the right house.
One day, man.
One of these days.
I don't know what I mean by that. I don't know what
I don't either.
One of these days.
That's not a very hard fetish to fulfill.
I mean, here in Taiwan it is. Where am I going to find a black prostitute? I guess they must exist.
Yeah, they exist.
All right. Opening a new chore here. Here's to continue the theme. This is in fast food news, which can you imagine? What do you think how this is going to work?
Yeah, hang on. What's the segue here?
McDonald's Japan.
Okay.
Their newest dessert is literally called an adult cream pie.
No.
Oh, no. No. It's like an episode of It's Always Sunny.
Right. It's just like that. McDonald's Japan, guys. No one in your organization, no one in the advertising world, no one at the board meetings, no one spoke English well enough to know that was a wrong
But
choice.
that's the thing. Like to me, it errs so far on that like side of incredulity of like surely not that it has to be on purpose, right? Like they have to be doing this to get people in.
But McDonald's of all fucking corporations doesn't operate that way.
I don't know what Japan McDonald's is like. I don't know how raunchy they get over there.
But yeah, I mean, McDonald's could be asleep at the wheel for a decade, and I think they would still be coming out on top. Like people just show up. I don't know. You need to be. But yeah, and what's funny is calling it an adult cream pie.
God damn it.
So that implies that it's got to be something. There's got to be something over there that are like.
But for adults, maybe it's big.
Exactly that. Like, well, just that. It's a cream pie. Well, like a Boston cream pie is a thing. Just a big Boston cream pie.
Just a big cream pie. What's so funny about it is I'm sure you guys both agree. If I was in charge or if I was in any layer of that, I would not say anything. I would be like, that's what we're doing. All right. Yeah.
You're kind of right.
That's got to be what's happened though, is that it's come from like someone high up and no one in the chain has been willing to question that. They're like so worried that they're going to lose their job. This guy's a real fucking hot on the fire button.
Should we tell him? I'm not telling him. You tell him. Fuck.
And how do you even approach that? Like, hey, boss, listen.
Yeah.
God damn it. That means something a lot different than a tasty treat, bud.
Yeah.
And we're like well into production. but we got to put a stop to that.
This is the same guy that came up with the cunt burger. So he's like, they're like, oh, it's fine. We've done worse. This is,
We sold it out of just pure curiosity.
we just wanted to see what happened.
Let's do one more.
All right.
And then get out of here.
Sounds good.
Let's stay with Japan. Go open up the foreign lands drawer. This is
Okay.
Japan is building a terrifying giant Godzilla, which seems unwise.
Why does it seem unwise?
Well, yeah, that is odd because if they're building it, what is it gonna fucking come alive? Like, what do they mean seems unwise?
I wonder if they're gonna make it fight that big Gundam they're building. Aren't they building that big
that
Gundam?
how they've
that
built. I've seen tests.
Big, it's built and it's like walking now.
It walks.
Yeah, they just did its walk test. It like knelt down and stood up and like took a step or two.
What? That's
Yeah.
way more advanced than I thought it was gonna be.
But I mean, it's super clunky. We're not talking like Pacific Rim here yet. It's like it, but still, it's like it's humongous. It's like the size of the space shuttle, and it like squats down and stands up and takes a step.
I enjoy the fact that this thing's barely taken its first steps and they're already like, okay, now we need something for it to fight.
What?
Godzilla-roo!
First of all, I saw a thing from a military expert, which I love. I love when people are like high top brass, like know their shit really well, but are chuckle fucky enough to take an interview about stuff like this.
Yeah.
This guy was talking about how impractical human-based weapons are. Like, if you make a mech that walks, like, why would we ever do that?
Yeah.
You know, like, there's literally no reason to do that.
Yeah, that's why they never took, because they researched that and like stuff with like 4 legs and stuff. That's why the tank was a thing. They were like, this works way better in almost every situation than something trying to walk over it with legs. You know?
I mean, I guess maybe we get to a super advanced point where we're like connecting brains to robots, but I mean,
that would have to be it. Where you could balance, the brain would balance it out like a normal body.
what? Japan is building a terrifying giant Godzilla. Hey, which seems unwise.
Didn't they build a giant killer monster wolf or something? Wasn't that an episode we had about the giant robot monster?
Was that them? Was that Japan? It's got to be Japan.
I mean, it might as well be. I don't know if it was, but somebody was building a giant robot monster to scare away something. And it was like a big wolf. It was Japan, wasn't it? They built a giant wolf with glowing eyes and
that sounds right, but I don't remember. I don't think we clicked that article, did we?
Yeah.
Oh, we did. Well, let's talking about clicking articles. Let's click one of these. What do you boys want to click?
Let's let Luke pick.
All right.
I mean, I still want to know how he died from magic.
Oh shit! He's been keeping that. Okay.
I know we really skimmed that one, but I gotta know.
Okay, let's play the card.
Play the card.
Are we putting the noise here too?
No sound effect. There's no sound effect.
Are we doing this? Are we?
You gotta let me know.
You gotta let me know, or I ain't doing it.
I've been waiting here.
What? This goes okay. This is not what I was expecting at all. So
That's great. That's exactly what I want to hear.
Louisiana man
Okay. Yeah.
drops dead after he called a woman a voodoo N-word bitch.
Damn. All right.
Oh, so they're saying voodoo magic killed him.
According to eyewitnesses, the man was being racist to the black female who obviously practices voodoo, which I don't
Obviously.
obviously practice voodoo.
Well, that seems a little racist in and of itself.
There's some real issues on both sides of the card here.
Yeah. I think they're both on the wrong end of it.
They exchange. This is what, guys. We were not prepared for we clicked the right article. Good job, Luke.
Oh, thank God.
Good job, Luke.
They exchanged harsh words for a while, and no one was able to de-escalate the situation. And then, in all caps, quote, she violently threw a doll on concrete, and the man dropped dead like a bag of potatoes.
What?
Now,
What?
this is the thing. Out of all of the possible articles that this could have been, the least one that I was expecting was that it was actual magic and it exists and it killed this man.
Actual.
And of all magic types that I'd be ready to believe in, voodoo's up high on that list.
Yeah.
Sure.
Rodney,
Wow.
a passerby, said he was just jogging when he stopped to observe 2 angry people arguing in the street.
As you do.
I was not going to let him talk to a sister like that, but she signaled to me that she got it.
Oh, and she had it all right.
She had it.
And by it, I mean a literal voodoo doll in her fucking pocket.
I think people who know her knew something will go down after he called her a voodoo N-word, because after that moment, everyone was quiet and it felt so dark. When she smashed that doll against concrete, the guy's nose started bleeding and he collapsed like a demolished building. I am a nurse, so looking at him on the ground, it looked like he had multiple bone fractures too. This is bullshit. This didn't happen.
This has to be. There's no way. Because
there's no way.
How, if this actually happened, how is it that this podcast is the first time I'm hearing of it?
Exactly. This would have been everywhere. Man killed by actual voodoo witch magic. That would be big news. Yeah, what's the source? What's your source there, Sam? Is it The Onion?
No, talkofnija.com. I don't know what that is.
Okay.
I don't either.
Obviously, well sourced.
Sounds legit.
I can't. I hope this is real, because that's exactly what I want to happen to all the people like this. Can you imagine from now on if there's like a Karen, screaming at someone in a shop, and then you see the shop assistant just literally pull out some sort of magic talisman or something like that.
Yeah.
How quickly people would back off.
Or that would pretty much end, but it would end people doing stupid shit like that. And you know
It's
what
essentially
I mean?
like
that would put a good knock in it. It'd be like, man.
It's like people just have a gun. Like, but it's not,
it's almost like a gun.
you don't fuck with them now.
It's almost like a gun.
Oh my
yeah,
God.
It is.
While you guys were talking,
God, that's hilarious.
I delved it.
It's almost voodoo. It's almost like a gun.
This website, I did a little more diving while you guys were talking, which is great. While we have a chat, we have a third person to talk to. As usual, what I can do. This is a Nigerian news website.
Let's go.
And the top article, popular posts, number one article on this website is "Bee sting to the penis can permanently enlarge your penis."
Is
Oh
this
my God.
website just this podcast, but in Nigeria?
Probably.
Seems like it.
They just go and they're combing through all the same grease channels as you.
I don't care how much bigger my dick is going to get. I will not let a bee sting my dick.
Under no circumstances.
No.
This unusual method was used by the royals of ancient Egypt to permanently enlarge their penis.
No.
Egyptologists who discovered the method, no.
Absolutely not.
No, Nigeria.
A small study was conducted on 9 volunteers of different ethnicities. None of this is true. None of this is true.
I like the idea that there was hieroglyphs somewhere in a tomb depicting a bee being applied to the pharaoh's dick.
Now, it very well might temporarily make it bigger because it's going to swell up, but it's not going to permanently make it bigger. And who the fuck? Listen, I bet that's happened.
Dude.
No, I bet that's happened in history. That's been a thing. Absolutely. Some dude in history is like, yeah, wait, a bee stung my finger and it got way bigger. And then a light bulb goes off and he's like, I'll let a bee sting my dick later before I go see old Nat and Putin tat.
And I bet you it's also happened on accident. I bet you someone just got stung, and then after all the swelling went down, it was still a little swollen, stayed a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
It's gotta have happened.
Could have, yeah. In fact, they went to get honey or something, and the guy's like, hey, man, what's up with your dick?
Listen to how listen to how fucked this news article is, dude. This isn't news. I give that's way too official of a term. Okay, a small study was conducted on 9 volunteers of different ethnicity: 3 Asians, 3 Africans, and 3 Europeans. First of all, no. John Corona, the leader of the bee sting to penis research,
What are we going to call it, guys?
still shocked by the results. The Asian guys can't handle their new mandingle. It's awesome. As soon as the pain is gone, you can go back to business. John says all his volunteers are all happy. Only one of the African volunteer is having a hard time because his girl is now scared of his much bigger
That
manhood.
is that's hilarious.
But the thing is, like,
This is like a junior high kid.
Yeah, exactly. Here's what I've heard about.
who's paying for this information to be out there? Big bee sting? Like, what's the onus behind this?
They're just making shit up. To get clicks. Just make it shut up to get clicks.
This is how you get them.
Just making it
They
up.
got them. They got the
The
clicks.
team said they're now working on whatever they can to extract whatever. They're working on whether they can extract whatever substance that causes this permanent reaction from bees, so it can be sold over the counter.
Oh, that's hilarious. This is written by someone who has no concept of modern science. I don't have a much of it.
I am
but,
gonna-
come on. I have a fucking at least a little bit of a finger on the pulse of like what's going on.
Yeah, there's something
That would have
there.
already been a thing. We've pretty much figured out most of bees.
I linked a image to the chat here that it was the one that was included in the news article, which you boys can both enjoy.
It's just a B and then a dick.
The tags for this news article are tags: B, enlarge, penis, permanently, sting. I'm bookmarking this website, and we will be coming back.
We'll be back to peruse this Nigerian fair.
We will be back.
And that'll do it for us this week on another episode of the Royal We. I want to thank Gishibashi for letting us use his song intro/pathos off the album 151A. I also want to thank Luke for joining us and definitely picking the correct article to talk about.
Ding, ding. Yeah. Ooh.
If you guys want to send us headlines, and you should, you guys can do that at Royal WeCast on Twitter or royalwecast@gmail.com. You can also link them to our brand new Discord, which I'm sure you guys will get links to. You can also just ask us for links because probably you guys can get in contact with us.
Just hit us up on the street, like I said.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got little bits of paper. We'll hand it right to you. That's going to do it. I mean, do you have anything to plug, Luke? Or do you have any projects you're working on?
No, I got nothing going on. I've been in lockdown for fucking 6 months. I got nothing.
Womp womp.
I guess that'll do it. Let's just fucking dismount this like a dirty horse. Good night, Dad. Where am I going to find a black prostitute?